G'day friends, and welcome to my Minimalist Creative Studio. This is my new studio based in Sydney, Australia. It's a space to create, to connect, and to live. My goal for this place was clear from the beginning. I wanted it to be simple yet creative, intentional but not lifeless. And while this space is still a work in progress, I'm really excited with how it's all coming together. All right, so I just moved into this space a couple weeks ago and I could not be more excited. This has been a space that I've been dreaming about for the longest time. So let me take you on a little tour. This is by far the biggest studio that I've ever had, but I've still run into some challenges when it comes to the layout. I knew I wanted an extra table for filming, so I got this kitchen island, which conveniently is on wheels. I need to hang this up. I just haven't gotten around to it yet. I'll put this here for now. Obviously not a revolutionary idea, but having a table on wheels is great because I can move it around to get certain shots for my videos, whether it's a coffee montage or an overhead shot. So the first time that I used this, oh my God, I'm such an idiot. I had set up a blender over top of this table. A lot of people called me out for grinding coffee in a blender. I just did that because it was the only way I could get a clear shot of the coffee beans grinding. So I didn't put a lid on top of the blender. I turned it on and coffee beans went everywhere. I don't know what I expected to happen. Yeah, I did not really think that one through. So what's great about having the table in the center of the room versus just leaving it there flush against the wall is that it allows you to create a lot of depth. So you see, if you have that in the center of the room, the depth is just the blurriness in the background behind it. So there's not a whole lot to the kitchen here. I mean, the most important thing is my coffee setup, which I'll show you. So I've got the Fellow kettle here with that beautiful long gooseneck, which is just amazing for making coffee. The Baratza coffee grinder. Got my handy scale here from Hario, Loggerhead coffee. And you might have noticed in my last video that I brought back the lovely Chemex. Got to give you a look inside the cabinets. Everything here is IKEA, except for these mugs, which are from a small boutique ceramic shop in Melbourne called Hunter and the Fox Ceramics. I really love these. What do I have in here? I don't think I really have any. No, it's just completely empty. I actually do have just my filters from my Chemex. Not a thing. This is gonna be really sad. So this is like all I have for now. Got a couple oat milks. I'll use this with my granola, but I also mainly got it for my guests for like making them coffees. Artwork from my son here. Oh my God, look how cute is that? Look at that, what the heck, dude? That's amazing. Before becoming a parent, I never knew why people would ever be so proud that their son had their hand smushed into paint and then pressed into a piece of paper, but now I know. I'm like, this kid's a genius. And let's see, in here, again, this is just bachelor heaven here. Honestly, I have no idea why a Monster energy drink is even in here. I never drink energy drinks, but I'm like, just in case I need it. I think I bought it as a prop for a video once and just never used it. This is a bomb hot sauce right here, my favorite go-to. I haven't even removed the plastic. I know this is exactly why you guys clicked on this video. So this is really the main part of the studio here. It's where I work, it's where I chill, and that's it. Those are the main two things that I do here. Very little chilling, actually. So this is a reclaimed desk. The one thing I didn't realize about it when I got it was that the texture of it actually is quite uncomfortable to work from. It also has a lot of holes and divots and imperfections that make using a mouse on it kind of impossible. And so that's why I ended up getting this felt top. I don't mind the way it looks, to be honest. I think I've done a pretty decent job with cable management here. I've got a couple white cable organizers here just to make sure that my surge protector, chargers, power cables are all hidden. Really the only cable that you can see is the white surge protector cable that goes all the way up. So even with my podcast mic here, you can see that I've secured it all the way around there. I'm sure you're dying to see what this looks like back here, so let me show you. So obviously back here, there's no need to get super organized. Just a jumble of cables. One thing that you may notice is that it's quite tight, especially when I pull my desk chair out. Like there is just no space in this room at all, but honestly, I'm okay with it. At the end of the day, like this space is pretty small, but it's not that small. Like it's not like I'm in a shipping container or a tiny house. Like people work in much smaller spaces than this. I really love drawer organization. And right here is my most organized drawer in the house. These are nuts, bolts, and screws that I use for connecting my cameras and my gear together. And then these are just some like go-to things that I use. Cable organizers, memory cards, headphones, and camera adapters. So obviously the main purpose of this studio space is for my work, but there is also another secret purpose. And this basically made the decision to get this space a no-brainer for us, but it's a place for my family to stay when they come visit us in Australia. We wanted to give family extra incentive to be able to come down here. Obviously visiting us is incentive enough, right? But also the fact that it's a lot cheaper to be able to stay here at my studio. And so I didn't want to put up a bed at all times. That just seems like a waste of space because it's almost never gonna get used throughout the year. And so I got this pull-out sofa here. Yeah, let me just set up the camera and then I'll show you. Does anybody else get inside of their duvet cover when they're making it? Just me? Oh, it's pretty comfortable. Since I know a lot of people are gonna ask, this sofa bed is from a company called Koala. It's an Australian-based company. Pretty much everything in this place is an Australian company or brand, which probably doesn't deliver internationally. I'll leave links to a lot of the big things in the comments below for my Aussie and New Zealanders. But for everybody else, you probably have 1,000 other options in the US anyway. All right. Look what I found. That, my friends, is a coffee bean. Hey, I have another jute rug coming in here that'll fill up this space and probably make it feel a little bit more cozy, but that has yet to arrive. I honestly had no idea what to do with this thing. It's just like, what is it even for? It looks like it's something used in a prison. So I just put a hand towel here. If you guys have any ideas for how to cover that up, let me know. All of the plants in this house are fake because I just can't deal with more responsibility. There's some artwork, you know, that just speaks to you on an emotional and spiritual level. And that's definitely this artwork for me. There's something about it. It's beautiful. So I didn't have a convenient place to put the router over here. This is where the internet comes in. And since you know that I'm pretty big on cable management, I got this white plastic cable hider. It runs all the way along here, down there, back past the stairs, and over to my router tucked behind the couch. You would not even notice that that was there. So one of the main reasons for moving into this space, outside of the fact that Nat's pregnant and I'm getting kicked out of our space, did I mention that Nat's pregnant? Was because I wanted to be able to have a place to set up interviews, and this is it. This is my new podcast studio. This studio is equipped to shoot 4 cameras for every interview. So basically I do a wide shot and a close-up of my guest and myself. A couple cameras set up right here. And then over here I normally have 2 cameras, but that's this camera here I'm filming with, the one that's normally there. A lot of the decor is set up where it is because I wanted to look good on camera. This is kind of awkward and empty. It's just like one frame on the wall there. That's just because it's positioned to the corner of the shot. So it's in the frame with the guest, but not distracting, if that makes sense. I love these rattan office chairs. They're really cool and retro looking. So all my books downstairs were all really intentional and books that I've read. These are all books that I haven't read before, outside of this one, which I don't know how that got there. It's a great book, guys. Seriously, go get it. I've brought in a lot of vintage frames and photos of my grandparents and my childhood. These things don't fit into the traditional minimalist aesthetic, but they make me feel closer to home, and I personally love them. Got that Into the Wild poster. Love that movie. I love the soundtrack even more. Eddie Vedder, you outdone yourself, mate. And then we got the Australia print and the sofa. This is another piece of nostalgia that I've brought all the way back from 2018. It's insane how quickly I was able to put this studio together. Like, I spent months working on the dark and moody setup. If you saw it over on the bonus channel, I kind of like documented behind the scenes of me creating my home studio. And then right when we found out that Natalie's pregnant, we were like, it's just not gonna work. We need that bedroom for the baby. Oh, look at the battery just died. But I was like in this state where I needed to create and not just decorate an office. Like, I needed to make videos. And so I freaking hustled as fast as I could. I got this entire space decorated, outfitted, and set up basically within a week, which I think is quite impressive. Pat myself on the back. If you want to see the whole build out of this studio and kind of the whole behind the scenes process of it and some of my motivations for moving into this space, then head over to my bonus YouTube channel. It's just called Bonus Diavella. I'll leave a link in the description below. One of the ways that I'm making this studio possible is through Patreon. I brought Patreon back and I made it even more accessible for people to be able to contribute to me. So for just $5 a month, you get access to the full unedited episodes of my podcast, which are sometimes twice as long as the final cuts. I also am doing an AMA podcast where I answer your questions. And I'm also sharing extended interviews from my main YouTube channel. So if you want to support, it just costs $5 per month. But if you are loaded for $10 a month, you can get the same exact content. So just another way to contribute and help make this whole thing sustainable for me. This is the perfect space for the next chapter. I have so many ideas for videos, interviews, podcasts, and I can't wait to bring it to life here in this space. Anyway, thanks for watching, guys. It feels so good to be back. I'll see you soon.